Hello and welcome to WhatWorked Teachers. This is the welcome video, and our aim as a company is to help schools find out what has worked. How do we support teachers? WhatWorked Teachers is designed to help educators to set up, implement and robustly test interventions in your school. We do this by creating 3 short video tutorials which are about 5 minutes long to help you understand the research evidence underpinning the intervention and how to implement this in your school. We then provide a research protocol, which outlines the research question, the design, the sample, the outcome measures, and how we complete the analysis on the platform. We then include a resource folder, which includes all the materials that you need to run the interventions. And then we have a trial wizard, which is an automated assistant, which provides you with all the support you need to run the analysis, which is all automated, and provides an impact report for your school. So how does the platform work? So when you go onto the Teacher Cockpit, you have 3 videos to watch. The first one is a short introduction video, which is this one here. Hello, and welcome to What. The second video is guidance on the setup and intervention overview. And then the third video is an implementation video, which goes through the key information you need on how to implement the intervention in your school. Implementation overview in session so that they can turn up on time for use, but you could potentially include rewards such as house points. Okay, then we provide a protocol which you can download in a PDF version, which gives you a record of the research, including the significance, a quick summary, the intervention, the design, and all the things that you need to know to be able to understand how the evaluation has been designed. We then provide a folder which you can download, which has all the resources, and then once you've gone through that, you just click Get Started. Here you input the start date, so the start date for your trial and then the end date. This is on the test version, but you would put in usually the weeks that you will be doing this. And in this example, we're using individual randomization. So we have 6 students which are being targeted for the intervention, and this for demo purposes has been put into a control intervention group. You then complete your pre-assessment, and then you put your pre-assessment scores into the system, and you have the option to include whether the students are free school meal status. Everything that you include on the platform is anonymized, and we include a data tracker which you download to be able to link the anonymized ID to a student name in your class, but no student learner details is put onto our system. Then you run the trial in your school. And once you've run the trial, you then input the post-test data. Please be aware that it will not open up the post-test data input until a week before the end of your trial. So once you put in your post-test data, you then go to Analyze Results. And we ask you to complete a quick process evaluation just to help us understand how this has been implemented in your school. Click Analyze. And then this generates an impact report, which you can then download as a record of the impact this has had in your school. And what we do at WhatWorked Education is we go through the data that's been inputted and the trials which are valid, which is they have a start date and an end date within the timescale that we've set. The data has been inputted and checked, and the process evaluation has been completed. We then add this to a cumulative evidence base, which we will then update on the platform. So that's how WhatWorked Teachers works. What do we mean by robust evidence? So usually within schools, you'll have a class of students, you might do a pre-test, you'll include the intervention, and then you have the post-test. What we do at WhatWorked Education is we help you to create a control group, which gives you something to compare with. So we have either at class level or individual level, a control group, which also complete the pre-test. They continue as normal, and then they have the post-test. So this is a more robust way of testing if an intervention has worked by having something comparable within your school. And that's how we run the evaluations at WhatWorked Education. But we have two types of randomized controlled trials. So we do pupil level and class level. So what do we mean by this? So pupil level randomization is where you have a targeted group of students. So you will select maybe 10 or 20 students to complete the intervention, and then these are allocated to receive it or not. And this is generally outside of lessons as a targeted approach. Class level randomization is exactly what the name says. One class receives the intervention and one class does not. And we have interventions on the WhatWorked platform, which are either set up as individual for targeted or a class level randomization. One question we get asked is it ethical to withhold an intervention from the control group pupils? Well, we always use a waitlist design, so the pupils in the control group will have access to the intervention after the post-assessment has been completed. And the question that we always throw back is it ethical not to test something to make sure it works before it's given to the students? So we use a waitlist design, and the interventions that we have on our platform are typical practice. So pupils undertake similar teaching and learning activities anyway in usual practice in schools. And then all the data that goes onto our platform is anonymized so that we have no pupil data that comes on here. So head teacher consent is sufficient. So data integrity. Our mission for WhatWorked Teachers is to create a teacher-led evidence base that professionals can use to help inform the decisions that you make about your teaching and learning in your school. Therefore, the evidence is only as good as the data that the teachers input. So please ensure that you follow the random assignment and that the data you enter is valid. So as teachers replicate each evaluation, we aggregate the data to create a cumulative evidence base. We do have checks on the length of the trial. We do have checks on the raw data that's gone in, and we also make sure that teachers have attempted to complete the short process evaluation. And then what we then do is aggregate the data together to build a cumulative evidence base for that intervention. So hopefully together we can build something special in education and help improve learning based on evidence-based decisions. So the next steps is to watch the intervention overview and to find out a little bit more about this approach in your school.